The evening air grows cool and heavy as the sun dips below the horizon, casting long violet shadows across the landscape of southeastern Massachusetts. Here, in this quiet corner of New England, the modern world seems to fade away, replaced by something older, something deeper, something that breathes with the rhythm of the earth itself. We are entering a place where the boundaries between the known and the unknown are soft and permeable, a place where history and legend dance together in the mist. Let your shoulders drop, let your breathing slow, and allow your mind to drift toward a region defined not by walls or fences, but by the stories whispered in the wind. We find ourselves at the edge of the Bridgewater Triangle, an area of roughly 200 square miles, a geometric embrace of land that holds within it forests, swamps, and secrets that have endured for centuries. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a dense wood. The air smells of pine needles, damp earth, and the sweet, decaying scent of fallen leaves. It is autumn here, eternally autumn in the theater of the mind, where the trees are ablaze with russet and gold, but the light is fading now, turning the colorful canopy into a silhouette of lace against the darkening sky. The road behind you is quiet. The hum of traffic is a distant memory, replaced by the rhythmic chirping of crickets and the soft rustle of dry leaves skittering across the pavement. As we step off the road and onto the soft, mossy floor of the forest, we feel the change in the atmosphere. The air is still here, protected by the density of the trees. This is the realm of the Hockomock Swamp, the heart of the triangle, a place the indigenous Wampanoag people named long ago. The name itself, Hockomock, rolls off the tongue like a low drumbeat, a word that means place where spirits dwell. Pause for a moment and consider the weight of that name. For thousands of years, people have walked these paths, felt this same stillness, and sensed that they were not alone. But in this moment, there is no fear, only a profound sense of connection to the past. The swamp stretches out before us, a vast labyrinth of wetlands, where the water is as black as obsidian, reflecting the first few stars that are beginning to blink into existence above. The trees here are ancient guardians, Atlantic white cedars that rise from the dark water, their roots tangled and twisted, disappearing into the peat and the moss. Mist begins to rise from the surface of the water, curling around the trunks like white ribbons, soft and ghostly. It moves with a life of its own, drifting, swirling, obscuring the path ahead and then revealing it again. A gentle game of hide and seek played by the elements. As we walk deeper into this landscape, the ground feels spongy beneath our feet, a thick carpet of sphagnum moss and pine needles that absorbs the sound of our footsteps. We move in silence, respectful of the slumbering energy of this place. The Bridgewater Triangle is a land of anomalies, a place where the compass needle might spin in confusion, unable to find north, as if the earth itself is protecting the direction of its secrets. There is a calmness here that defies the stories of the strange. While legends speak of creatures and lights, the reality of the moment is one of profound peace. The swamp is a nursery for life, a sanctuary for the wild things that prefer the shadows. Listen closely, and you might hear the call of a barred owl, a rhythmic, "Who cooks for you?" echoing through the timber. It is a lonely sound, but comforting, a reminder that life continues in the dark, unseen but present. We drift in our imagination toward the Freetown-Fall River State Forest, another corner of this mysterious triangle. Here, the terrain changes, rising up from the wetlands into rocky ledges and dense woodlands. The geology of this place is old, formed by the retreating glaciers of the last ice age, leaving behind massive boulders, erratic stones that sit like monuments to a time before history. Among these stones, there is a feeling of watching and being watched. It is not a predatory feeling, but rather the sensation of the forest itself being aware. The trees seem to lean in, Listening, the Wampanoag lore speaks of the Pukwudgies, small, mysterious beings of the forest, guardians of the woods who dwell in the shadows of the rocks. In the daylight, they are said to resemble the porcupine. But here, in the twilight of our journey, we imagine them as spirits of the undergrowth, elemental beings that are woven into the fabric of the forest. Picture them not as monsters, but as the spirit of the wilderness personified. They are the rustle in the fern brake that you cannot explain, the pebble that tumbles down the slope when no one is there to kick it, the fleeting shadow that darts behind the trunk of an oak tree just at the edge of your vision. They are the keepers of the triangle, watching over the sacred sites, ensuring that the balance of nature is maintained. We move slowly past the great stone outcroppings. The granite is cool to the touch, rough and glittering with mica in the moonlight. These rocks have absorbed the heat of the sun all day, and now they release it slowly back into the night, faint radiators of warmth in the cooling air. We come upon Profile Rock, the old man of Joshua's mountain. Though the physical face of stone may have crumbled in recent years, the memory of it remains strong in the ether of this place. It was said to resemble the face of Massasoit, the great sachem of the Wampanoag. Imagine the profile etched against the stars, a stoic face looking out over the land he loved. The energy here is heavy with history, with the sorrow of King Philip's War, a conflict that scarred this land centuries ago. But time is a great healer, and the forest has grown over the battlefields, covering the scars with green moss and wildflowers. The sorrow has settled into a deep, melancholic peace, a quiet reverence that demands we slow down and simply be. As we wander further, the canopy above opens up, revealing a sky that is vast and endless. The Bridgewater Triangle is famous not just for what is on the ground, but for what is seen in the heavens. For decades, travelers on these lonely roads have reported strange lights in the sky, silent orbs of orange, red, and white, drifting over the treetops. Let your mind paint this picture. You are standing in a clearing, the tall grass brushing against your legs. Above you, the Milky Way is a river of diamond dust, stretching from horizon to horizon. And there, hovering silently above the tree line, is a soft, glowing light. It does not flash like an airplane. It does not rumble like a helicopter. It simply exists, a sphere of luminescence, pulsating gently like a heartbeat. It moves with a fluid grace, sliding through the air as if it were swimming in water. It is beautiful, hypnotic. You feel no fear, only wonder. What is it? Is it a visitor from another world? Is it a manifestation of the Earth's energy, a ball lightning formed by the unique geology of the swamp? Or is it something spiritual, a lantern held by those who have passed on? The light drifts closer, casting a warm, amber glow on the tops of the pines. It is silent, so incredibly silent. It invites you to let go of your need for answers, to release the human desire to categorize and explain. Some mysteries are meant to remain mysteries. They serve to remind us that the universe is larger and stranger, and more magical than we can comprehend in our waking lives. We watch the light fade into the distance, merging with the stars until we can no longer tell which is the mystery and which is the cosmos. We are left alone in the clearing, bathed in the silver light of the moon. Our journey takes us now to the solitude of Anawan Rock. This massive formation of conglomerate rock rises from the earth like the back of a sleeping whale. It is a place of surrender, historically and spiritually. It was here that the Wampanoag war chief Anawan was captured, ending the great conflict of his time. The air around the rock is thick with the feeling of finality, of acceptance. It is a place to lay down one's burdens. Imagine climbing to the top of the rock, feeling the solid stability of the stone beneath you. You sit, looking out over the darkened forest. The wind sighs through the branches, a sound that is both mournful and soothing, like a lullaby sung by the earth to her children. Here, the veil is thin. Some say they can hear the faint beat of a drum, or the chanting of voices carried on the breeze. But these sounds are not frightening. They are memories, echoes trapped in the stone, playing back the history of the land on an infinite loop. We honor these echoes by listening, by witnessing the sanctity of the space. As we descend from the rock, we find ourselves back on the winding roads that crisscross the triangle. Route 44, Route 138, roads that cut through the darkness like ribbons of gray. These roads are legendary in their own right. Stories are told of a phantom hitchhiker, a figure seen walking the shoulder of the road, searching for a ride home. In the safety of our meditation, we can view this figure not as a ghost to be feared, but as a fellow traveler, a lost soul wandering the byways of eternity. Perhaps he is simply a memory of the road itself, a projection of all the journeys taken, all the miles traveled. We wish him peace as we pass by, leaving him to his long walk under the moonlight. The landscape of the Bridgewater Triangle is a tapestry of water, stone, and wood. But it is also a landscape of the mind. It is a place where our subconscious fears and wonders are projected onto the scenery. The mysteries are often reflections of our own inner worlds. The darkness of the swamp reflects the unknown depths of our own psyche. The lights in the sky reflect our hopes and our questions about our place in the universe. We return our focus to the Hockomock Swamp. The night has deepened. The mist has thickened, rising now to waist height. We are walking on a boardwalk that hovers just above the water and mud. The wood of the boardwalk is damp and cool. To our left and right, the vegetation is dense, sweet pepper bush and high bush blueberry creating a wall of greenery. Deep in the swamp, there are places no human has stepped for generations. Islands of dry land amidst the mire, where the trees grow immense and undisturbed. In these hidden pockets, cryptozoologists have looked for evidence of the thunderbird, a massive, bird-like creature from indigenous folklore. Imagine looking up and seeing a shadow pass across the moon, a wingspan that blocks out the stars for a heartbeat. It is vast, majestic, and silent. The wind from its wings rustles the tops of the cedars. In this dreamscape, the thunderbird is a protector, a guardian of the upper atmosphere, watching over the swamp below. It is a remnant of a time when the world was wilder, bigger, and more untamed. To see it is a gift, a glimpse into the primordial past. The swamp breathes. You can hear the water lapping gently against the roots of the trees. Bubbles of marsh gas rise to the surface, releasing the scent of the earth's digestion. It is a cycle of life and death, decay and rebirth, happening slowly, continuously, in the dark. We drift now toward the edges of the Taunton River, which flows along the western border of the triangle. The water is wide and slow-moving, a black ribbon sliding toward the sea. The river, too, has its secrets. It has seen the canoes of the Wampanoag, the ships of the settlers, and the quiet fishing boats of today. The river reflects the lights of the towns that border the triangle, creating shimmering pillars of gold and white in the dark water. The contrast between the electric light of civilization and the deep darkness of the woods is sharp here. The Bridgewater Triangle exists in this contrast, a pocket of wildness surrounded by the suburban world. It is a reminder that no matter how much we build, no matter how many roads we pave, the ancient land remains beneath, waiting. There is a comfort in that, isn't there? To know that there are still places that cannot be fully tamed, cannot be fully explained. It suggests that the world is still full of possibility. If there are Pukwudgies in the forest and lights in the sky, then perhaps magic is not dead, but merely hiding, waiting for us to be quiet enough to notice it. Let us walk deeper into the woods of Rehoboth, another point in the triangle. The name itself is biblical, meaning broad places or room. And indeed, there is room here. Room for the mind to wander. Room for the spirit to expand. The forests of Rehoboth are dark and dense, filled with stone walls left behind by farmers who tilled this soil centuries ago. These stone walls are the bones of the landscape, meandering through the woods, marking boundaries that no longer exist. They are covered in lichen and moss, slowly being reclaimed by the earth. Following a stone wall in the moonlight is a meditative act. You trace the labor of hands long gone, the lifting of stone upon stone, a testament to human endurance. Sometimes, the mysteries of the triangle are subtle. It is not always a monster or a UFO. Sometimes, it is just a feeling of displacement, a sensation that time is moving differently here. Minutes can feel like hours, and hours can pass in the blink of an eye. This is the Oz effect, a silence that descends abruptly, where the birds stop singing and the wind stops blowing. In a horror story, this silence is a prelude to danger. But here, in our relaxation, this silence is a sanctuary. It is a pause button on the chaos of life. When the woods go silent, you can finally hear your own heartbeat. You can hear the rhythm of your own existence. The silence of the Bridgewater Triangle is a blanket, wrapping you in a cocoon of stillness. We find ourselves near a place known as the Solitude Stone. The name is apt. It is a place for solitary reflection. The woods here are thick with pine, blocking out the sky, creating a cathedral of shadows. The ground is soft with generations of fallen needles. The scent is intoxicating, sharp, clean, and resinous. Breathe it in deeply. Let the scent of the pine forest fill your lungs, cleansing you, grounding you. The trees here stand straight and tall, pillars supporting the roof of the night. They do not judge. They do not demand. They simply stand, witnessing the passage of time. As we continue our journey, we might think of the Dighton Rock, located just on the edge of this mysterious region. A 40-ton boulder covered in petroglyphs, carvings that have baffled scholars for centuries. Who made them? Was it the indigenous people? The Vikings? The Portuguese? The Phoenicians? The rock sits in the river, submerged by the tide, then revealed again. Its message is eroded by water and time, but the mystery remains. It is a physical manifestation of the triangle's enigma, a story written in stone that we have forgotten how to read. It reminds us that we are part of a long lineage of seekers, people looking for meaning in the marks left behind by others. The moon is high now, a perfect pearl in the velvet sky. Its light filters through the branches, creating a mosaic of silver and black on the forest floor. We are walking without a destination, simply drifting through the geography of the unknown. We pass by old, abandoned structures, cellar holes where houses once stood, now filled with brambles and saplings. These are the ghosts of domesticity, remnants of lives lived in these woods. There is no sadness here, only the gentle reclamation of nature. The forest takes back what was borrowed. The wood rots, the iron rusts, the stone falls. It is the natural order of things. In the Bridgewater Triangle, the past is never truly gone. It is layered, one era on top of another, like the strata of the earth. The energy of the Wampanoag ceremonies, the struggles of the colonists, the quiet lives of the farmers, the curiosity of the modern seekers, all of it exists simultaneously in the atmosphere of these woods. When you walk here, you are walking through time. You are stepping into a stream that flows backwards and forwards. And in this stream, the strange and the unexplained are just ripples in the water. Let your mind drift back to the image of the lights in the sky, those silent, hovering orbs. Imagine them not as technology, but as consciousness. Perhaps the land itself is dreaming, and these lights are the thoughts of the earth made visible. They drift over the Hockomock, over the Freetown forest, over the quiet towns, watching, waiting, existing. There is a deep sense of safety in this vastness. You are small, a tiny speck in the landscape, but you are part of it. The trees breathe for you, The ground supports you. The mystery entertains you. As we near the end of our journey through the triangle, the first hint of dawn is still hours away. The night is at its deepest, its most profound. The witching hour is not a time of fear, but a time of power. A time when the veil is thinnest and the mind is most open. We find a place to rest, a soft patch of grass near the edge of a slow-moving stream. The water murmurs quietly, a continuous, soothing sound. We sit and look up at the stars one last time. The Bridgewater Triangle stretches out around us, miles of swamp and forest, miles of secrets. We do not need to solve the mysteries. We do not need to catch the Pukwudgie or identify the UFO. The value is in the mystery itself. It keeps the world magical. It keeps the world wide. It allows us to believe that there is more to existence than what we can see and touch. The unsolved mysteries are gifts. They are invitations to wonder. They are doors that remain slightly ajar, letting in a draft from the unknown. As you lie back in the grass of your imagination, allow the atmosphere of the Bridgewater Triangle to fade gently into the background. The mist settles. The lights dim. The creatures of the forest return to their burrows and their nests. The silence remains, living inside you. You are safe. You are calm. You are filled with the quiet wonder of the world. The ancient stones of Massasoit stand guard in the darkness. The swamp sleeps. The history rests. And as you drift deeper into relaxation, deeper into sleep, you carry with you the peaceful knowledge that the world is vast, mysterious, and beautiful. The journey is over for now, but the magic remains, waiting for you in the quiet corners of the earth and in the quiet corners of your mind. Sleep now, surrounded by the gentle embrace of the unknown, held in the arms of the ancient night. All is still. All is quiet. All is well.